Okay, so we're going to replace this AC compressor on a 2004 Toyota Sienna. I wanted to show you the problem we're having, but of course it's not doing it now. But essentially the clutch seized, and so when the AC was on, this disc here was spinning very, very slowly, and it was having a hard time. You could tell it was dragging the belt and really slowing everything down. This, you can see here, are the shavings from the clutch material, or from the bushings back in here, and we'll take a look at that once it's out. So first thing we need to do is loosen the drive belt. We're going to do that by loosening this alternator bolt here, and then we're going to loosen the side adjustment to the alternator right down here on this side, and then we'll loosen this up and push forward on the alternator. So again, just loose here. We're not going to pull the bolt out or anything. Alright, that's loose. Now we'll go down, it's a 14 mil on this, 14 millimeter, and then these down here are 12. And now we're loose on this side one. Just a good amount of play. And so now we can get on, this is the actual tensioner bolt. And we should be backing it out. So we're just going to act like we're loosening this. So we are loosening it. That's going to relieve the tension on the belt. So you can see now I can do it by hand a bit. Pull this out. Undo it by hand. Again, don't pull it all the way out. Just need a good amount of room. And then I just shove forward on the alternator a little bit. Now you can see this is loose. I probably need to back it out a little bit more. Backed out more, shoved it forward again, and we're almost there. There you go, belt is off. Future me here, I'm starting to remember that in fact you actually do need to pull this alternator out in order to get the compressor up and out. So I'm going to go ahead and do it now to get it out of my way. And so I did take the bolt all the way out here. I'm going to take this top bolt all the way out, but first, before they do that, I'm going to unhook it. And it's a good idea that I'm going to disconnect the negative on the battery terminal first. So first I'm going to loosen this bolt here, get that off, then I'm going to disconnect the electrical, and then take that bolt out and get the alternator out. Next, I'm going to take off the AC lines to the back of the compressor. There's one 10 millimeter there, and there's one down in that back little corner there. It's hard to see. I should mention I already took this to a shop with an AC machine and had all the Freon sucked out. So I'll probably put that at the beginning, but make sure you have all the Freon taken out before you open this up, because it's going to make a huge mess and it's very toxic and bad for you and bad for the environment and all that good stuff. So they sucked it out. I'm going to do the repair, go back and have them put it back in. So next is those. I went ahead and I'm going to go the multiple extension route and make it easier for myself on this one and go way down there and just loosen that one from up here. And then on the other one that's a little hard to get to, I just went old-fashioned 10 millimeter wrench. I'm doing it the hard way. After you cut those off, this top one has to come off first. I'm just going to get down near the base and pick straight up out of the compressor. It actually goes inside a bit, so you need to get it kind of straight up and out, and it should just pop. Be a little bit light pressure, and it'll pop, and then it should come out. Maybe. Alternator's kind of in my way. I'll pick back up on that alternator because it's loose. There it goes, comes right out. I'll try to show you on this next one. I'm going to just get down low on the base and pick straight up. And now we're out. And then I'm just going to move these hoses out of my way, which is kind of the main reason I wanted to do them first. Because now we have a bolt down here with gunk all over it and a bolt here for the compressor. We should have two more on the left side. Okay, got the bolt out and everything. Sometimes these can be pretty tight in there, so I wiggling it back and forth as I pull. You can also get a pry bar in here and just kind of gently pry on it. Mine's almost there. There she is. this AC hose out of our way. And there we go, we birthed an alternator. Now we can really see what we're doing. Look at that. So got the electrical connector for the AC compressor here. Here's the top bolt, and the bottom one is just down this black plate right down there. Now the compressor bolts are different lengths, so make sure you organize it in a way that you know you're going to remember which bolt's which so you don't frustrate yourself later. Okay, now the compressor's loose. We're going to tilt it to make it vertical, like this. And then we're just going to come out, up, through here. Move this hose out of my way. And now we've birthed an AC compressor. We're going to go back in. A couple things on mine. This electrical connector on the new one, they kind of changed the bracket and it was over here. I did go ahead and swap this with the old one because that one, as I tried to install it, it is actually in the way there. So I just took this bracket, one Phillips there, unplug the connection here, swap it over onto the new one, and then leave these in. These are little stoppers that keep the oil that's already in here from coming out while I'm dropping it in, so I'm not pouring that all over and losing the oil that's in it. So we're going to put it in place, then take these out, swap the O-rings, and put the lines back on. Alright, now we're dropping the new one in. Same thing in reverse. We'll go vertical. It's going in pretty soon. Same way, go in vertical, down below, turn it to the way you need it, put it on there. Remember, the bolts are different lengths, so make sure you have the right bolts. Don't forget the black bracket that came off on this side with it. And now I'm going to tighten up all 4 bolts, hook up the electrical connector, again pull these off, put the lines on. So I got the bottom hose in, I took the stopper plug off, got the electrical connector on. I'm going to go ahead and put the alternator in now so that I don't have another hose in my way, and then I'll do that easier hose once the alternator's in. Okay, so now that I wiggled the alternator in, I got the bolt through and it's threaded a few, but I'm going to leave it loose, leave that bottom bolt undone so that I can give myself a little more room to get that extra hose in there and bolt it down, and then we'll bolt this up. Got those tightened, the alternator's back in, the belt's on. You're just going to leave this side nut loose, leave this top nut loose as you tighten down this adjuster screw here that's going to bring the alternator up and tighten the belt until you have it at your desired tightness, and then you can tighten that bolt and that bolt. We got the powers bolted back down on the alternator, plugged back in. Pretty good here. Put the negative battery terminal back on, and we're going to go get it filled up at the shop with Freon. Should be good to go.